Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We begin with breaking news. Just in, we're told a 46-year-old man has been shot and killed in a Warren gas station parking lot. This is Sky 4 video of the scene, which is on Ryan Jarvis, south of 9 Mile. Police tell us the shooting happened shortly before 3 this afternoon. The victim was shot in the head. The investigation continues, and of course, we're going to keep you posted both on air and online as new developments come into our newsroom. Also, first at 4 today, for the second day in a row, we're keeping a close eye on the radar. Storms, in fact, could be headed our way, also with the risk of strong wind and hail. Meteorologist Paul Gross is on duty for us on this Wednesday to keep us posted. Paul?
Yeah, hey, Sandra. The severe thunderstorm watch that was issued this afternoon for parts of Indiana and Ohio also includes Lenawee County and the Michigan counties immediately west of there. But notice the rest of the area not under that watch as of now. So let's get right to Storm Tracker 4, and you can see there's not a whole lot going on in the area. We do have a few scattered storms here in Lenawee County. These are not severe because right now you are north of a warm front where it's cooler. Down south of the warm front, as we take you to the Indiana radar, you can see these are much stronger storms. You can see the direction moving up toward us. Now, the whole key to this situation is going to be the warm front, because right now you can see temps are only in the 40s to near 50. Kind of hard to get severe weather when it's that cool, but down south of that warm front, it's now near 70 in spots. So if you're going to the Pistons game tonight, be aware there could be some showers and storms going to the game, but just maybe a few showers after the game. We're going to break down this whole severe threat coming up in just a few minutes. Sandra.
We're also following breaking news right now from the world of diplomacy and politics. Madeleine Albright, the first woman to serve as Secretary of State, has died. Former President Bill Clinton appointed Albright as the country's top diplomat. That was back in 1996. She was a big supporter of NATO expansion and also pushed the alliance to stop ethnic cleansing in the Balkans. Her family says Albright died of cancer. She was surrounded by family and friends. She was 84 years old. A star witness took the stand today in the trial of 4 men accused of plotting to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Ty Garbin cut a deal to reduce his own sentence if he pled guilty and testified against Adam Fox, Brandon Caserta, Daniel Harris, and Barry Croft. Today, Garbin testified the Whitmer kidnapping was intended to spark a second civil war. He said during training sessions, the men built so-called shoot houses to simulate rooms at Whitmer's vacation home and the state capitol. Garbin also said they did surveillance of the governor's Elk Rapids home. Tonight at 5, more key testimony, including why the men felt the need to speed up their plan just days before they were arrested. We are learning much more about a dangerous fire at an apartment complex in Warren. It left an 8-year-old girl injured. It happened early this morning at the Warren Manor Apartments on DeQuinder, north of 8 Mile. Many people were sleeping when the fire broke out. L'Oreal Brown suffered burns as her family tried to escape. They raced to escape, but were told she is expected to recover. 8 units are destroyed and a few others damaged. We're following the search for a cause and also looking at the history of the complex. That's coming up tonight at 5. A major drug company now says it has an encouraging update on a COVID vaccine for very young children. New results coming right up. But first, the state of Michigan just told us it recorded more than 1,500 cases of COVID-19 in the past 2 days. That's a daily average of 779, which is almost exactly the same number we saw a week ago. The 7-day positivity rate is still 3.5%. But people are still dying from the virus, with an additional 95 COVID-related deaths since Monday. Moderna says its version of the COVID-19 vaccine was safe and effective at producing a good immune response in younger kids. The drug company says it will soon ask regulators in the U.S. to authorize 2 lower dose shots for children 6 and under. There were no severe illnesses seen during the trial, and the vaccine was 38 to 44% effective in preventing mild infections. The nation's 18 million children under 5 are the only age group not eligible for a COVID vaccine. So if the FDA confirms Moderna's results, vaccinations could start by summer. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge is reviewing the results.
For parents who want their young children vaccinated, if authorized, this is going to provide an option, but it's not really a home run. While the vaccine did produce a good antibody response in the young participants, it was not super effective at preventing symptomatic infection. In fact, only 44% in kids 6 months to 2 years, and only 37% in kids 2 years through 5 years old. Now, we should note this was during the Omicron surge, so we would expect the protection to be somewhat less. But for some parents, the question is going to be whether that's really enough to make it worthwhile. Back to you.
Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson spending another day answering sometimes combative questions on Capitol Hill. She's been accused of being soft on crime, but says judges really interpret the punishments set in a law passed by Congress.
And it tells us that we should be imposing a sentence sufficient but not greater than necessary to promote the purposes of punishment. Congress also tells us that one of the purposes of punishment is rehabilitation.
Democrats can confirm Jackson without Republican votes if they stick together. They hope to have her confirmed before the Easter break. President Joe Biden is now on his way to Europe to promote NATO unity and also find new ways to pressure Russia. Before he left, the president says he believes Russia could use chemical weapons in Ukraine, calling it a real threat. In Brussels, the president will talk to allies about military aid for Ukraine and more sanctions on Russia. Kimberly Gill is in the newsroom tracking the events in Ukraine for us. Kim?
Yeah, hi, Sandra. Good afternoon. NATO allies are growing concern about what Russia's Vladimir Putin could do next as his troops seem bogged down, frustrated, and of course they failed to take any major Ukrainian cities. Putin hoped victory would come quickly, but resistance from Ukraine has been much stronger than expected. Still, video like this from Kyiv is absolutely heartbreaking to see as Russia bombards the capital with attacks. Firefighters there say they've recorded the highest number of emergency calls since the war began 4 weeks ago. Also, heavy artillery fire and gunshots were heard from the northwest as Russia tries to encircle Kyiv. The Biden administration just made the formal determination that Russian troops have committed war crimes in Ukraine. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the assessment is based on a careful review of public and intelligence sources. NATO says Russia has lost between 7,000 to 15,000 troops since the war began. And the United Nations estimates the war has driven out about 10 million Ukrainians from their homes. Ukraine's president spoke to the Japanese parliament today as he continues to rally global support against Russia's military aggression. You may recall he spoke to the U.S. Congress last week, and he'll offer a virtual address to the NATO summit tomorrow. We'll have more on the war and the president's trip to the NATO summit tonight when you join us for Local 4 News at 5. Until then, Sandra, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
And of course, stick with Local 4 as Lester Holt reports from Brussels. He's following the president and reporting on NATO's response to Russian aggression. That's coming up on Nightly News at 6:30. And now some numbers that present some tough challenges for many local families. Did you know 4 out of 10 children in Detroit have a parent who's behind bars? Statistics also show children with incarcerated parents are 7 times more likely to go to prison instead of going to college. Everard Cassimy shows us how one woman is trying to change that equation.
For 7 years now, the Pure Heart Foundation has been working to break generational cycles. Their goal is to prevent children of incarcerated parents from serving time as well, as oftentimes is the case, as statistics have shown. For the woman behind this nonprofit, it's personal.
I remember being in that courtroom, wanting to run to her to give her a hug, and I was held back by a guard. What I saw was someone taking my mother away.
Both of Sherelle Hogan's parents were in jail for most of her childhood years. She remembers the pain and embarrassment that it caused.
Very emotional. I was often labeled as the sad kid in school just because I really couldn't concentrate in school because I'm always daydreaming and wondering how life could look if I can reimagine having both of my parents home.
Having an area where they can just be boys and lounge.
Now in a new space at Mary Grove Conservancy, she's preventing the generational cycle of incarceration through her nonprofit, the Pure Heart Foundation.
You are not your circumstance, and you are not your parents' incarceration.
I'm proud of you always. That's why we love you.
It's the reason why scholars like Victoria Henry are able to be successful today. She graduated high school at just 16 years old.
It felt good because don't nobody want to be in school for a long period of time. So if I could knock 2 years out in 1 year, I'm like, yep, let me do that.
But life hasn't been all smiles for Victoria. Her father and stepfather were both sentenced to major time behind bars. Still to this day, it's an emotional topic.
And I feel like people don't really understand like how much a child can hurt too. Like the stuff they see their parents go through, they don't understand it actually affects the child.
Because of Pure Heart Foundation, she has a mentor and other scholars to relate to. Now at age 18 and a clean record like Sherelle, her future is incredibly bright.
I actually want to open up a daycare and hair salon, but I want to do it like in one, because like some people need their kids watched when they're getting their hair done and stuff like that. I always tell her I love her and I appreciate her so much because the work that she's doing, it is an impact.
This is y'all lounge.
They're going to be so happy when they see this. And you can see it.
And there are nearly 200 scholarships that are signed up for the Pure Heart Foundation this year alone. We're inside of their new space at Marygrove Conservancy, which actually opens up this Saturday. For more information on Pure Heart Foundation or to show your support, we posted a link to their website on ours. Just go to clickondetroit.com. In Detroit, Everett Cassimy, Local 4.
And it's a beautiful space indeed. Pure Heart Foundation's new space there at Marygrove Conservancy is called the Scholars Center, and it will also offer access to things like academic support, school supplies, counseling, even quiet meditation spaces. Still ahead here at 4, she is #1 and she's done. One of the most successful athletes in the world, now calling it quits. We'll have that. Plus also ahead, your summer vacation will be less spontaneous if you want to see this national treasure. Find out how the rules are changing. But first, new evidence today of why Severe Weather Awareness Week is so important. We are tracking yet another deadly tornado down south, and Paul updates our forecast right after the break.